Hey,
And
Kate. Kate, how do you make it go back to so I can see everybody? Sorry. Sorry. Mm.
but always interesting to see and get the actor's perspective for sure with this. So thank you for doing this. And we obviously don't want to keep you all night, but would you you're willing to take some fan questions, correct?
You betcha.
All right. So anyway, folks, let us know in the chat. Let's keep it organized if we can do so. Uh, we'll have you unmute and come on camera if you wish, and we can let you ask directly. Dave, Mr. Brown. Yeah, we'll go with you. Go ahead.
Hey guys,
Start
how
off.
are you? So, as most of you probably know, I am the creator and writer of His Name Was Jason, a Friday the 13th fan film. Some of you have been following me for over 4 years now, and the film has finally come to full fruition and will be released in June in the Blairstown area as the first premiere. Our movie actually will fill in the gaps between part one, well, let's say original, because they never planned a part two. The original and part two beautifully. We paid close attention to watching the original and part two, which is my favorite, and made sure we followed all those details to fill in that 5-year gap. My question to you actually is, during the time of filming, were there any major problems or dislikes? I've heard nothing but positivity from you, which is fantastic. But was there anything that happened during filming that you can actually say rubbed you the wrong way? Lauren.
Ooh, that's tough.
I mean, don't sugarcoat anything.
No, I mean, I didn't like the fact that they dragged me down the stairs for real.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
those were my real feet being dragged down the stairs, and I was not happy about that.
Gotcha.
That's just me. There was a little bit of clickiness that did go on. That's all I'm going to say. A little bit of clickiness.
Well, I guess that's normal amongst actors and actresses. There's always the ego thing, I'm sure, at times, but I was just curious.
I guess I just wasn't ready for that because I came from a place where that didn't happen. You know, in high school and college, in our theater groups, it just wasn't like that. Everybody was kind of equal. And so I've never talked about this before, but there did seem to be a little bit of a hierarchy. And
Gotcha.
yeah, so that was different. I mean, it wasn't anything negative. It was just something that you felt that was just like, okay, there's them and then there's us. Yeah, just a little, it wasn't anything negative. It was just like, it was them and us.
And being so young, as you said, you know, you were, it was I'm sure a whole learning experience too, you know, so
yeah,
I'm always curious
absolutely.
to know, like, behind the scenes of, you know, without, you know, you don't want to badmouth anybody, of course, but just wondering what the chemistry was like. You know, you think you hear some of the stories, but I like to always know from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I mean, the chemistry was actually pretty good. You know, usually background actors come and go, but the background actors that you see in the movie, they were staying there with us, and
Right.
we all got along very well.
Awesome.
You know, were there crushes going on? Absolutely, but
Yeah.
nobody really acted on them because you couldn't. There was no privacy, and also most of us were younger. At least Marta and I were the youngest ones on the set.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Higgins, Mr. Higgins, you had a
Mr.
question.
Higgins.
Mr. Higgins.
Mr. Higgins.
All right, we'll come back to him if he comes back. CB, you had a question.
Hi, I'm Charlie, and I want to say thank you. It was a pleasure. I love Friday the 13th. My question was, I had seen a documentary, and it was long and exhausting, but about the whole franchise. And it seems like they just came up with the holiday name, the day Friday the 13th. Then they kind of wrote around that. They were kind of writing blindly from what I understood. So I guess my question is, when you all got the scripts and audition, did you know what you were getting into? Did you know how it was going to end, or were there changes made by the studio in real time? That's what I'm curious about.
Okay, when we auditioned for it and we booked it, we didn't really know what we were getting into because Friday 13th Part 1 was kind of overlapping our auditions for when it was released. But they did corral us all into a screening room to see Part 1 to show us, okay, this is the history. Even though it's just the first movie, it's the history of what we're doing. Yeah, the other thing too, and I have a picture of it in my scrapbook. I should get my scrapbook and just bring it here and just put it here. The script, it was not called Friday the 13th Part 2, it was called Jason.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So they knew they were going to go with the Jason route rather than. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
They knew that was gonna be their focus. Is Jason's grown up and here's what he's up to.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. So you knew what movie it was getting into, because I read that in the first Friday the 13th, nobody knew it was going to be, what it is today. So I was just curious.
No, we didn't either. We knew that we were going to be in a sequel. It was called Jason, but none of us had any idea that it would, become this. Just not whatsoever. And I'm still flabbergasted by it.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Carrie.
Okay.
Me?
There she, yeah, do you want to ask what you asked in the chat?
Yes, you, Carrie.
I just said it was great meeting you at Horror Hound. You don't remember, but
You were at Horror Hound. Oh my God. I loved that con. That was so much fun.
yeah, it was the reunion part 2.
Part 2, like reunion. We were wondering if you were going to be maybe doing conventions still.
When they start up again, you betcha. I mean, I think a year ago, Friday the 13th, we were supposed to do Monster Mania. And I had my bags packed and, I had hand sanitizer because they said bring hand sanitizer. I was like, why? Whatever, just go and wash my hands. And it was canceled at the last minute. So yeah, we plan I know Warrington has been doing a lot because he travels around a lot and he does a lot in storefronts and things like that have a lot of memorabilia. So yeah, once it starts up again, I'm out there. I mean, I get COVID tested. Actually, I get COVID tested twice a week.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know we're jonesing for horror conventions. Oh my God.
I know. I mean, I really enjoy going to them too. I love meeting people, especially from movies that I enjoy too. You're just like, wow, they're really here. And I'm a big fan. They look at me, they're like, oh, I know you. And I'm like, no, I know you. It's kind of fun.
We're trying to make it to Dave Brown's premiere. So we might,
Great. In June.
Out there. Yeah, because we're backers of the film.
Oh, great. That's super. Is that a dog, by the way?
This is Chris.
Yeah, that's Chris.
This is Crystal
Oh,
Lake.
what kind of dog is it?
Yeah,
Her name's Crystal Lake.
she's a Pomeranian.
Oh, it's a pom.
She's shy.
Aw.
Yeah.
Here she is.
Look at
Say
him.
hi,
There he
everybody.
is. Oh, what a face.
That was going to be one of her names we were thinking of possibly was going to be Muffin.
Muffin.
But we
Oh
went
my
with,
God, no.
yeah.
Oh, there. Here's my baby cat.
Oh, here you go.
Oh.
He's a little wild.
Oh.
That's Louie. Bye, Louie. Thanks.
She just got spayed yesterday, so she's kind of sensitive. I gotta put her down.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Here you go.
Hi, Patrick.
Cool, thanks so much.
Thanks, yes.
Patrick, you got a question?
Yep, I'm here. Hi, Lauren. How you doing?
Hi, Patrick. Good. How are you?
Good. Nice to finally meet you via via chat. Cheers. So, I guess the question I had was, now I know you talked about when you auditioned for the part of Vickie and the whole process you went for that. Was there any was that the only character that you were mainly going for? Like, were you looking for the part of Ginny or for? So it was always Vickie.
Yeah, that's the part. They wanted what they said is an all-American brunette. And so I was the all-American brunette at the time, and yeah, that's how I got it. And like I said, the casting director, Meg Simon, had cast me in many national network commercials. So I was the all-American girl at the time. I was in 3 years worth of a major fast food franchise, and I did all their jingles and all their commercials for 3 years. And I mean, hundreds of commercials. So she knew me from that. And yeah, I was the all-American girl. Even when I did the soap opera, they coined me as the all-American girl next door. So yeah, that's what I went in for, and that's what I got. The hardest thing was having to smoke in the movie because I'm not a smoker and I never was. Edibles, yeah, but no. Anyway, yeah, so I had never smoked anything in my life, and I think when you watch that smoking scene with Tom McBride over, you can tell I have no idea what I'm doing. So that was a little bit of it wasn't miscast in that way, but it was the writing that was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because I remember hearing that Warrington Gillette originally was looking for the role of Paul, but then he lost that part, and then he was offered the role of Jason, but he only played the unmasked part because he was unable to do like a lot of the stunts that Steve was able to do.
Well, yeah, I'm also going back to the whole union rule thing. You're not supposed to do a stunt. If it's even if it's breakaway glass, you have to have a stunt person do that because you can still get hurt even with a breakaway glass. So I think I posted some on my Instagram page of Warrington getting his makeup done. So yeah, so he was there for the face without the makeup, but then Steve Dash went through the window. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thanks very much, Lauren. Very nice talking to you, and hope to see you at a convention someday. And I'll definitely be seeing you on Instagram some more.
Yeah, you will. Thank you.
Take care.
Alex.
Hi,
Hey,
Lauren.
Alex. There you
Hi.
are.
Hi.
Where
sorry.
are you, Alex?
Hi, I'm over here. Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
There you are.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. It's so cool. I grew up with these movies, so whenever I get to interact with the actors, it's a special place in my heart. So thank you. I have to ask though, what was it like working with Steve Miner? I mean, I love his films, but this one's probably one of my favorites.
He was a very young director when we were doing Friday the 13th Part 2. So he was very, very serious. I mean, he was a great guy and very social off camera. But when we were filming, it was like Jekyll and Hyde, not in a bad way though. It wasn't like he was mean or anything like that. But off camera, he was like, want to play tennis with everybody and hang out and whatnot. But once that camera was rolling, he was extremely serious and very mature directorial, because like I said, it was probably one of his first films.
Yeah, very cool.
And he was cute.
Oh, he definitely was. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna do 4 more questions, but before we finish shows up, Lauren, if you can, because obviously you shared about us giving away the shoes, if you can.
Oh yeah.
And Lauren has not seen the document keeping track of everything. So this is fair as fair can be, I would think. Can you choose a number between 1 and 21?
Oh, 18.
Okay. So is Aaron Jones in the room?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron.
Walk this way, Aaron Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Wait, there you are. You were getting the shoes.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
eating pizza.
all good. Jesse got you taken care of. So touch base. We will have you touch base with Mr. Zimmerman to get you squared away with that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Messaging you right now.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So let me see where my list was. Matt, or let's see. Hold on. I didn't want to forget that. Matt, did we get you for your question?
Oh, no. Hi.
Okay, go ahead.
Oops, wrong Matt.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I had a question. Who would win a cat fight, Vickie or Stacy?
Oh, shoot. Oh my God, that's so random. Wow.
My mom was a big Loving fan, so
Oh, thank
I
you.
I was a Friday 13th fan, so one day I walked into the living room, I said, wait a minute, that's the girl from Friday 13th Part 2.
Wow. Oh, whoa. See, I think I could kick both their asses, but that's beside the point. You know, I mean, I am a karate girl. I'm gonna have to say Vickie
Cool.
would kick Stacy's ass, only because Vickie was going to be a camp counselor, which means she probably had some toughness in her, because in order to deal with all those crazy kids, you got to be a little crazy and a little tough, but also you got to be athletic, and you got to be with the program, and you're in the woods, so you got to know how to take care of yourself. Even though she went up the stairs looking for a dude in a wheelchair, how would he get up the steps?
Yeah.
Whereas Stacy was just nothing against small town girls, you know, I love John Mellencamp, but she was just a small town girl, you know. Yeah. No,
Cool.
who did Don't Stop Believing? Who was that? That's Journey. Sorry. Shoo, I'm getting my rock and rollers mixed up.
Jenny.
Thank you
Anyway,
thank you very much.
Justin.
You're welcome very much.
Justin.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi. Hey,
Hi,
Lauren.
Justin.
Hey, this is cool. I grew up. It's funny. Let me share a quick story. I actually got, like I mentioned in the chat, when I grew up as a kid, I used to go to Dania Beach Thunderbird in Dania Beach, Florida, and I actually got to see the first, second, and the 3D one in the drive-in, and
Driving.
yeah, and they had big trees planted right near, you know, like on each side of the screen, and it made the movie even like 10 times more frightening, because I could just picture Jason jumping from the trees, and during the end scene, when he jumps out at Amy Steele from the back, I grab my father's arm like that, and he goes, "It's okay, son, it's only a movie." I'm like, "No, he's gonna come through the trees." It was like I'm sitting there shivering, because I'm more focused on him barreling through the trees than I am at the screen. But
Oh my God.
oh, it's fun. I miss those days. I really miss when they made movies like this, because nowadays it's just too overdone, and I miss the old, you know, the drive-in films. I really, but it really is cool to meet you, because it's you know, it's. But I had a question. Like at the end of Friday 13th Part 2, it's never revealed what happens to Paul, and there was always rumors that he was killed by Jason, or he just vanishes and is never found. So I didn't know if you knew if there was an original part in the script that was cut or anything.
No, there wasn't. No, the script was the way you guys saw it. You know, we all joked. I mean, we were always joking around about it, because, you know, obviously we had the whole script. It wasn't like you didn't get everything. You know, you had the whole thing, and we were always just like, what happened to him, and what happened to, you know, Ted, and what happened to everybody? Where'd they go? How come there was no closure for them? you know,
Yeah.
within the movie. I mean, she's being carted off, you know, Ginny is being carted off at the end. And it's like, I'd be like, F Muffin, where's my boyfriend? You know? So that's why there was a whole conspiracy theory that he took over as Jason, and that's why the mask was worn, because you couldn't see that it was actually Paul.
That'd be a neat theory. Because I can always imagine him like dropping the dog, oh my God, and running off and having Ginny go, thanks a lot, Paul, some boyfriend.
Yeah, right. What's out, right?
Not me. But yeah, so it's like I never knew if anything was ever mentioned or any deleted scenes featuring his death or anything.
No, there weren't. He just kind of wussed out and ran off. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, he went for a swim. Yeah.
Well, it was nice to meet you, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
David.
Let me.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hey, how you doing?
Superb. Yourself?
Pretty good. Now I was watching that scene in Friday the 13th Part 2. Actually, I was counting the houses. You went in 3 houses. You went into the car. So, how would you rate it? Like you were running fast from Jason. I know that, but you were running in 3 houses in a car. How long was that thing?
From the car to the thing. Well, to film it, we filmed it over a period of, I would say, at least 3 nights, because it had to do with weather too. And they wanted rain, but then it didn't rain. And then they had fake rain, and it was too much fake rain, so it got muddy. So from the house to the car back to the where, you know, we all congregated, you know, the camp house, it was, I would say, maybe 50 feet. It wasn't that far at all. They made it look like it was far because they had the steady camera, you know, the guy holding the camera and walking like this. So they made it look like it was far away, but it was actually like from point A to point B. It wasn't that far at all, like going to your mailbox or something, you know? But they made it look creepier because the guy was holding the camera.
Yeah, when the last scene, I mean, when they showing the head, I was like, whoa. I was like, they were scary.
Yeah, it is, right? The makeup was great. Hi.
Well,
Sorry.
Thank you, and I love your dog.
Thank
you, David.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, David.
We got 2 more for you, if that's okay. Matthew, go ahead. Matthew. Matthew.
Where's Matthew?
Bam. Here I am.
There he is.
I almost missed it. I almost stepped away for 1 second. Yeah. Besides the fact that, thank you, this was a very special experience for me. This is always going to be one of my favorite memories and times on the internet. Okay. What I wanted to ask was, they sort of covered it, so I guess it's too late to talk about karate. So, I guess I'll ask something you've already been asked a million times. What would you say is a favorite memory about your most favorite memory between the 3 movies, with Friday the 13th and Girls' Night Out and Loving?
Oh, wow.
And that time of those 3.
My favorite on Friday the 13th was actually the beach scene with Stu and Amy and Tom McBride. We had to hang out there forever because, you know, they were filming other things and they were just like, you guys hang out here. And Stu was telling jokes, you know, and, you know, we were reacting to his jokes and I ad-libbed your face about that one joke. So that was one of my favorite scenes in that one. For Girls' Night Out, it was, believe it or not, it was the cheerleading scene, because when I was in high school, I was kind of like a geeky kind of girl. And I think I was a cheerleader for 3 or 4 days. So I really enjoyed being a cheerleader in that movie. So those scenes were kind of fun. And then with Neighbors, you name it. I mean, every friggin' scene in that was my favorite. But
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that was a great
one of
one.
my favorites was the Candy Underpants scene where he clocks Dan Aykroyd in the face. That was one of my favorite scenes because we were all there and we couldn't keep a straight face. Then we just decided we're not going to keep a straight face, and that was my favorite scene in that. That was a great experience, and I always call it filming Neighbors. I always call it the best time of my life.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for asking that.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to pressure. I didn't mean to pressure as far as like, you know, I was just wondering between like you know, if you had like, no, that was pretty good though.
Thanks. Yeah.
Well,
You know, it's great. It's great when you when people ask you know, when you guys ask, and you all have been really great about this too, unexpected questions, because you know, I'm not ready for it, so it's like it's what's there and it's what's in my heart and in my brain and in my dog's brain, and my face is now soaking wet from being licked by my dog. But anyway, but no, it's really great because some of these questions, most of these questions I've never heard before, so that's great.
Indeed.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you very much.
Ross.
Lauren, how are you?
Superb. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Oh, there you are. Now, who do you have with you?
Well, this is Mississippi. She's 20 years old. She's just recovering from a stroke.
Oh, how sweet.
She's doing pretty well. Yeah, she's just very easy.
Oh, my mic's still on.
Oh, hold it. We have Bill Randolph. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Bill Randolph, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm an idiot.
Oh, hold on a second. Hey, Kate, how do you take this off of my ear things so that other people can hear Bill?
You want me to call you back as soon as
No, I'm all good. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear him. It's fine.
Things in my ears? Put them down. 1 second. Hold on a second, Bill. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hi. Hold on 1 second, Bill. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I don't think they can hear me.
Yeah, we can.
Bill, hi guys. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, Bill. All right, Bill, call us back when you're upstairs.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Literally 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, bye.
Hey, Lauren, why don't you text him that number we tried to give Stu?
What do you want, Dave? Oh, she's muted herself.
You're muted.
There I am. All right,
There.
before I do this, I want to say, okay, so Ross, let's get back to you.
Yeah. So look, it's a pretty corny question, and I'm sorry if it's already been covered, but over your whole career from when you first started out until today, what would you say is your proudest moment?
For the whole career? Oh my gosh. That's hard. Because like I said earlier, the soap opera was such a huge part of my life. And being able to, I mean, I will say this in general, but it really became apparent when I was on the show. Being able to really become a character so completely that you can feel the emotion, ranging from happiness to sadness to, you know, craziness, if you will. Knowing a character so well and embodying a character so well that you can cry on cue if you need to, because you can go to that place. You know, you can look like you are truly in love with somebody when it's just a working relationship and people believe that. I mean, that's, I think, what I'm most proud of, is being able to really tap into the character, to be able to share that experience with an audience so that it's 100% believable. I mean, I had a few people, when I post a couple of things on Instagram from the soap opera, and a couple of people have sent me messages saying, you look like you were in love. And I said, well, no, I mean, we respected each other, but we did not have a relationship. And they said, that kind of chemistry is real. And I said, yeah, it is real, but it's professional. And they said, no, you must have been in love. And I was like, no, I wasn't in love with him. It's just, it was, chemistry. So I think that's really what I'm proudest of, is being able to translate what's in here to the screen. Yeah.
Awesome.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Higgins, did you come back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Higgins.
Hello, how are you? You there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh. Well, I was just gonna say, you mentioned that you've only really seen Amy twice, or at two different cons.
Yeah.
So that would have been what, Indianapolis and Baltimore?
It was Indianapolis, and I think I may have seen her in Florida.
Well, I'm pretty sure you guys were at a Baltimore con together. I think that was the first time I met you. Was there? It would have been outside of Baltimore, so it might not have been called Baltimore.
It was outside of Baltimore. It wasn't in Baltimore.
Hunts Valley, I think, is what it was. My brother lives over there.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, it'd have been next week would have been a year from when the Monster Mania was canceled, because I was in Ohio headed up there, and then had to turn around, but is what it is. Although that would, do you know if Steve Miner ever plans on doing cons? Because that was the first time I've seen him listed for something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that because this year is, the 40th anniversary.
Yes.
And
Me
if
too.
it spills into next year, it's okay. I'm hoping that he'll come, because some of us have not. I mean, I don't think Bill has seen him. Kirsten, a bunch of people we have not seen him since the movie. I mean, I haven't seen him at all since the movie. Yeah. So I think with the big anniversary, it'd be really nice if whoever represents him, I don't know, could get in touch with him and say, hey, or the promoters of the cons. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in charge of that, and I don't really know a whole lot about how people get booked on things. Yeah, but it would be really nice if the promoters would be able to say, all right, we're going to do this. Let's contact everybody. Even if they contacted us individually, it would be really nice, because I'd love to see him.
Yeah, so would I. I mean, I met pretty much all of you guys now, except for him, and I've got this great poster, and it'd be awesome to get his signature as well. But I'm glad you come out and do these things. I've met you a couple of times. It's been great. This was wonderful. Appreciate your time in doing this. And
thank you.
That's really about all I got to say, other than I'm sorry for not being muted before. It's first time I've ever used one of these apps, and I don't know what was going on. So, well, I'm like Lauren. It's all difficult to me. So.
I know, and you can tell by my name here that it's not really me. I'm actually my daughter. She's, Lauren is elsewhere.
And that was the thing. The first time my 8-year-old just started to walk out the house, and I was like, "Pretty girl, where are you going?" Well, and then you guys were like, "You're not muted." It's like, "I'm sorry." Well, sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
I've done professional Zoom meetings where, with casting directors, where a cat will jump across and mess up the screen, and a dog, a UPS guy will come and dogs will bark. And and they're like, Lauren, we need you to take this seriously. I said, it's not me. I can't control my dogs. They're not taking it seriously. Don't blame me.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Before we wrap, because I just saw this in the chat, we got to bring this up, because I'm wondering what in the hell he's talking about. Mr. Roderick Jesse Bowens. Please step up, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to mention the elephant in the room. I see no one's mentioned Pound Puppies, and I just wanted to throw out there that this show really had an impact on me in my childhood, and I loved it. thank you for your contribution.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
All right, is this now time out? The reason I wanted him to step up and about this, is this the same Pound Puppies that I see on Tubi?
I don't know how that got on my IMDb. That's all I have to say. I have no idea how it got on there. I'm not in charge of, I don't know who does IMDb's for you, but I'm not in charge of that page. So you got me on that one.
Okay, because he brought that up, and I was wondering if this was the show that drove me nuts with
Probably.
a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old that I have at the house a couple of days a week.
I mean, I've seen my whatever you call it, and there are things that are not on there that I've done. So it's kind of weird. So whoever's doing that page, whoever you are, it's weird. It's weird. I'm not. People, believe it or not, unless you have IMDb Pro, you can't get into it. And I don't know.
So what
I'm
you're
just not in
saying
charge
is
of it.
there's no way of telling which of my favorite childhood cartoons you might appear in next.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. If it was Peanuts cartoons, Charles Schultz, I'd be like, yeah, Peppermint Patty. But no, yeah. Yeah, IMDb is a weird thing. Don't trust everything that you see on it. Because, yeah.
Like, goes back to the line I used earlier that everything. Wait, before we go.
Did you get him?
He's right here coming in the room.
Yes.
Mr.
You guys
Bill.
you guys who stayed on with us, you'll be glad you stayed on with us.
Mr. Bill. I just admitted him. Where is thy?
Hey, Roderick.
There he is.
Love
he's
your
connected.
mask.
There he is. He's connected to the Roger. Before we get back to Bill, it was awesome. He was asking about cartoons and a Jason mask, by the way.
Oh, hello, Doug.
Hello.
Bill. There he is.
Hello. Can you hear me?
There you are. I see you, Bill.
How you doing, sir?
So, I don't know if anybody can hear me, but today you'll see behind me was my son's 18th birthday. That's my only excuse. I was dealing with my son and forgot to join.
All is good. So, besides the son's birthday, how are you doing, sir?
Am I supposed to be able to hear anybody?
Yeah, you have to unmute people.
What? It's in. Oh.
Yeah. So, how are you doing other than son's birthday, which is a good thing?
You're not paired.
Oh, wait a second. I guess I have to pair myself here.
Yeah, you can take them out.
Lauren Marie Gates over there.
Okay, now, here we go. It's taking me.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm so sorry I missed this. I was so looking forward to this. So here's the story, which absolutely is no excuse. But my son and his friends for his 18th birthday had rented a hotel room in downtown New York City. And when he got there, the first place that we rented, they wouldn't let him in because he's only 18 and he needed an ID that said he was 21. So I hop on the subway train and go down there, to sign for the room. And by the time I get there, they've already booked the room to somebody else. So we're walking around downtown Manhattan trying to find, he and his friends, another room for the night. And we finally did, but it was like, when I came home, I completely forgot my entire life.
Kids do that to you.
They do. They do. You know, it's kind of a sorry excuse for this old fart, but what can you do?
Speaking of
That's the
farts,
only-
does anybody have any questions for Bill?
Yeah. Open it up.
Let us know, folks. If you want to carry.
Bill, you, and I think Lauren might have been there too. It was at Horror Hound, and the alarm went off, the fire alarm went off, and everybody had to go out into the parking lot. Do you remember that? And there, everybody had to get out of the convention center. We were all in the parking lot waiting around in there. You remember that one? You were there, yeah. and Bill, Ted and I were with you. We were standing out there with you, and you were showing us pictures of your dog on your phone and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's that's kind of the problem. Your dog and your kids take over your whole life. And it's certainly the reason why I had to spend so much time with my son, not only because it was his 18th birthday, but I had to show him that I cared more about him than our dog, Gordo.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was fun hanging with you guys out in the parking lot, just waiting. That was so strange. Nothing happened, I don't think. But yeah. So you remember that?
I don't know how many like fire alarms in everybody's lives turned out to be absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope it stays that way too.
Absolutely, yes. It's much nicer when nothing happens.
No, it's fun to hang out in the parking lot with you, though. We got to show each other our animals.
Yeah.
So speaking of, I don't remember. Do you have dogs and cats that you showed me, or
actually we showed Lauren and stuff. We got.
We have a Pomeranian we named her Crystal Lake. And we just got her. You didn't see her. You saw the other ones. Hold on. Come here.
Yeah, Crystal. She's getting Crystal right now.
Hey, everybody. You got to see Crystal again. But this is Crystal Lake. Say hi. Say hi to Bill, Crystal.
Oh, what a cutie. Wow.
And then we've got another one over here. Karma. Come here.
Karma.
Bill, I think you saw this one.
Yeah.
This is Karma. You got to see her, but just a little refresher.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
You know, the other thing we can ask you to clear that up, when we were talking, everybody was talking about that scene that you ran back into ran back into the bar. That was you, that was meant to be, right? That was
it's interesting because I talk about it like it was a big event, and actually it was a lot of fun because it took a while to talk and of course I'm blanking on the director who directed part 2. Lauren, do you remember? Steve Miner. Yes. Yeah. So it took me a long time to talk him into it. Because and the thing that's so ridiculous is that I had on this coat and a hat and the whole deal, and I run in and unless you're really looking very closely, you miss it because I'm not really in frame very much of the time. I'm not really in frame until I get very close to the door. And so, and of course, there's no way that anybody and their brother is ever going to be able to recognize. So, I don't know what the whole fuss was about. I wasn't facing camera. It wasn't like I was going to turn around and wave to everybody. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was going to say, hey, cameo. So,
awesome.
Thanks.
That was fun for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole movie was fun for me. I had a great time.
And
Anybody else have some questions for Bill since he joined us?
Okay. Who else? It's so weird. This Zoom stuff is so bizarre. It's like, it's okay. Higgins, I see you now. Ooh, and I see your little hand.
Yeah.
How cool. That's much better than this. I have a question. You have to unmute yourself, Higgins.
Yeah.
How's that?
There we go.
Very good.
There you go.
Very good.
Very good this time.
Yep.
Very good. Yes.
Up in Indy a couple of years ago, I had talked to you for a couple minutes there, and we talked about whether or not you'd ever gone back to visit like Preston and Kent.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I had some pictures and stuff that I showed you, and you kept saying, "Oh, well, my kids are getting older. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go." And only being, I'm not sure if you live in like Manhattan or whatnot, but nonetheless, you can't be but 2 hours away. Have you ever made the trip back?
No, and certainly one of the reasons why is that living in Manhattan, I don't have a car. I don't own a car.
Yes.
So
I've got cousins that live there.
Yeah, anytime that I go anywhere, I got to rent something. So I have to combine it to a trip up to my wife's family. My wife's family lives up in Syracuse, so when we go up there, we always rent a car. Terry, could you do me a favor? Could you turn off this light and that light?
Unless he bums a ride with me, of course.
That'll work.
Actually, that looks good, honey. You don't have to turn the other one on. Leave that one on.
Hey, Lauren.
So my wife, the lovely
cinematographer.
Yeah,
Randolph
she's
now.
she's doing the lighting here. She's the DP.
Yeah. Should I? While we're at it, should I text Dean Cundy and have him come on?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
So who else from the cast was able to come? Did Todd or Stu show up?
Well, we knew Todd had a previous engagement, but
right.
Stu's iPad was not powered up. So he Stu.
Yeah, well, kind of like my son today. It was like we're going through all this stuff with the hotel room, and his phone died, and it's like, dude, that wasn't one thing you couldn't accomplish today is keep your phone charged.
Yeah, we did try to get Stu on, but between his iPad being down and not being able to get on, yeah, we tried. He was almost on with us.
And his brain being fried.
Yeah, I will not repeat what he said to me when we were on the phone. But totally understood. Right.
Yeah, I tell you, it's interesting. One of the great things when they came out with a box set last year was that, we were actually able to get together, via Zoom and Skype and whatever to be able to, do the play-by-play. And that was a lot of fun. I mean, it's the first time that I've actually seen Stu in action, and Russell looks great. Lauren always looks good. But the thing that's great about with these conventions, and now actually it seems like maybe this year a few will come back, that I'm able to see some of these people, more than once every 30 or 40 years. And I promise by the next convention, I'm taking off the beard and I'm cutting the hair. Look at this. This is COVID. So.
Bill, don't cut your hair.
Well, I tell you, it's gotten to the point now that, like little teeny wisps, no matter how I tie it up and back, all these little teeny wisps,
But they're
come
pretty.
into my, they come into my face and they bug the hell out of me.
He hasn't cut his since 1980, what?
5.
So when I was still in diapers then. But then again, I gave up. Then again, I gave up the diapers in 2018. So what's that say about me?
About time. I didn't mean to talk to you about that.
Really, what a mess.
Ray.
Yes, Jonathan.
Hey, you said you want to ask Bill something.
Oh yeah, hey Bill, nice to meet you. My name's Ray.
Hey Ray.
I just wanted to ask a comment and ask a question. By the way, man, good acting skills. for being who your character is, but I just wanted to know, what was your reaction when you saw yourself chasing that tow truck and you're like, holy crap, why is he taking my vehicle?
Well, I tell you, that was one of the more fun things. And, as we're doing the truck, of course, the camera's in the front seat. And they kept on saying, and of course, they're like with hand gestures or whatever, do it again, do it again, do it again. And the one that they finally got, when I was really pissed off, is that I was pissed off at them for telling me to do it again, do it again, do it again.
Oh God, that's nuts.
So, it's interesting how, you're thinking being Laurence Olivier, and they're saying, no, it's not working.
Hey, great skills.
So, but yeah, fortunately, it was a low budget film, so we didn't have that many takes, and I didn't have to run up that hill too many times. I'm sure that they got the take that they used on the last. When I was about as exhausted as I was, I wasn't going to run that thing again.
I wouldn't blame you, man.
But yeah, that was actually, that was a fun day. Enjoyed that day.
Sounds good.
But yeah, got to get back to those little towns. And fortunately, everybody that has posted, the befores and afters and the, this is what it looks like now kind of shots. It's pretty cool to see how close people get to the frames that are actually in the film. So Ray, where are you calling from, or where do you live?
Oh, I live in New
You don't have
Mexico.
to-
New
you don't have to-
Mexico. Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Oh, fantastic! Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's the second largest in New Mexico compared to Albuquerque.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, I tell you, of course, I'm sure nobody has done much traveling in the last year. We'll get back to it.
Sounds
Patrick,
good. Thanks, man.
anytime. I'm sorry it took me so long to get here. I wish I
No
could have been here.
problem. Take your time.
Could have been here for the film. That would have been fun.
Patrick.
Patrick, you got to unmute yourself.
Patrick, you're on mute.
Oh, there we go.
There you
Can you
go.
hear me now, Bill?
Yes, I can, Patrick.
Oh, good. Sorry about that. Hey,
That's okay.
so I wanted to ask, because going back the whole chasing the truck up the hill and everything, again, I don't know if there's still kids there, so I'll kind of censor myself. The a-hole, this is my truck, was that scripted or was that ad-libbed?
No, at that point, that was completely ad-lib. It was. Actually, that's very interesting. Yeah, I should, and I don't even know if I still have my original script, but I should look for it and see if that was scripted or not. I mean, it's possible that it was scripted, but it's possible that was an ad lib. Certainly, that's the way I felt.
Yeah. It's pretty. It seems like it's a real quotable line from the movie, and this almost like one of the famous lines in the movie.
Well, it's funny because when I do go to conventions, a lot of time people want me to quote that when I'm signing, which is my pleasure. But I got to look for that script. I got to see if I can find that script. It would be interesting if what it was. It's interesting because I usually keep absolutely everything. So I can't imagine why I would not have that script. But finding it is a different story.
That's still very interesting, Bill. Thanks for answering that.
Anytime, Patrick. Thanks for the question.
hope to see you at a convention one day. I was saying the same thing to Lauren. I'm in Jersey, so close to New York. So any conventions in the Jersey, New York area when all this is over with.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, when it's over with, please, 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 when it's over.
Yeah. I've only been to one convention, and I had the pleasure of meeting Warrington Gillette. That time, this was back in 2007, right outside of Philly. Unfortunately, there was nobody else from Part 2 over there, so it's definitely my favorite out of the entire series. I think it's the most creepiest and very unnerving, and has a much frightening tone out of every one of them.
Well, we certainly had a great time.
Yeah. It definitely looks like
and
that.
And I think it shows. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because it seems like Warrington's everywhere.
Yeah.
He seems to find every single convention all the time, everywhere. You look at the like the shots afterwards. Warrington, he puts in the extra mile, as they say.
Yeah.
Yep, I've been seeing it on his Instagram page as well. He looks like he gets a little kick out of it.
It's got to be cool.
Right on.
Well, happy birthday to your son.
Thank you so much. I will tell him tomorrow, hopefully when he gets home in one piece.
Mr. Porter.
Yeah, you know what? Interesting. I think when I was younger, I watched horror flicks and I said, how cool would it be to be killed in a horror flick, to kind of see that? And I guess what's interesting is when you see the way both of you died, but Bill, the way that death happens, how there's become iconic kills. Even in the video game, there was a cut scene where they reenact that kill, that you would see it. So it's so iconic that people remember that. Do you think when you look back and you say, both you guys say, wow, that was a really cool moment to just even have a death scene in a giant horror franchise? To me, that's almost like the biggest moment. That if I was in, I'd say, man, you got to kill me. You got to kill me in any horror flick. You feel that way?
Well, certainly when we were doing it, it was a lot of fun with Carl Fullerton setting the whole thing up, and it's included in the box set, but for the longest time they just had that cut version where you didn't even see the spear go into the back, and fortunately, we were able to find with Edwin Samuelson, who was doing kind of the back films and the interview stuff. He asked me about it, and I said, well, I've always heard that Carl Fullerton, has a copy of the uncut scene.
Yeah.
And fortunately we were able to get a hold of him and finally, get a hold of that VHS, which they actually had to take, to some place to bake for a day, so that it, to kind of separate the tape from itself. And it's amazing how clean the footage still was on this VHS that hadn't been played probably in 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the first time I had ever, when we finally got it back, it was the first time I had seen it. I never even saw it, when we filmed it, because we were just, part of it, and you didn't see the finished product. And it was very disappointing when I went to the first screening, and all of a sudden
you cut all that out.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was a good effect.
Oh yeah, I think that's the best part. I really do. I think the actors, I think that ultimately maybe went missing. I think they miss out. I think honestly, when you look at a franchise like this, and it's all built on body counts, I think that's so amazing to be a part of that process, be a part of that body count. I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, and certainly 40 years ago when we were filming it, we had no idea that we would still be talking about it 40 years later.
For sure, that's another amazing thought. For sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown. Thank you, sir, for that.
Thank you, John. Nice
How are
to
you?
talk to you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dave.
Yes, sir. My name's Dave Brown. I'm also a fellow New Yorker. I'm over in Queens.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
at this point, just being across the river seems like 7,000 miles.
Exactly. It's kind of sad and nice at the same time to be able to walk through Manhattan and not have to fight to go where you need to go. But at the same time, it's like seeing the city that never sleeps actually sleeping. It's I never thought I'd see it, but it actually is at time. Everything shuts down at 8 p.m. now. It's so odd
Yeah.
in Midtown.
Yeah.
But it'll come
And
back.
for those first few weeks when they first shut down, literally, because of Gordo, my dog, we would walk him, and literally we would be the only people on the street, and that was really weird.
So really quick, I'm a huge fan, by the way. Such a fan of part 2 of the franchise that I don't know if Stacey reached out to you. I actually wrote and created a fan film called His Name Was Jason, and it's coming out
Wasn't I in
June.
that? You sure I
No,
wasn't in that?
that's the documentary. This is a fan
Oh,
film.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Stacey was trying to get a hold of you guys about coming to the premiere in June up in Blairstown, New Jersey area.
Oh, yeah. Now, speaking of my son, because she did text me about that and immediately said, yes, I was interested. My problem is that my son graduates from high school.
She told me.
Yeah, the day before. And I also told her that it's possible, that they may do the celebrations earlier than that weekend. And if that's true, then I'll definitely come.
Event. This movie's been a 4-year in the making. It was a long process. Our story takes place between the original and part 2, and we're bringing the Sack Max Jason back. It's more character based than any like the original and the second film, which I felt was more character based in comparison to the hockey mask Jason. So my story stuck to that roots, and it's really about the effects of what happened to the town after what Pamela Voorhees did, and how it's kind of fallen apart. So it's about these 3 hunters that go into the old campground to hunt a prized buck. And, they don't believe in the Jason story. As far as they know, he drowned, this and that. But, I won't get into
until they believe.
So I won't get into the whole story, but it's a fantastic story. And, these fan films are popping up left and right. And there's no profit made in this because of obvious reasons. We get sued. So it's for the love of the franchise and it's to you guys. And Ron Milkey's actually in our movie. He's actually playing the sheriff in our movie. We got him to play. Yeah, he's not playing Officer Dorff because for obvious reasons it's 40 years later, and our movie takes place 3 years after the original movie. So we said we can't call you Dorff. We're just going to call you the sheriff, But he dropped some of his one-liners off into the film, and it was great working with him because he was pretty much walking distance from me. I met him over in Hell's Kitchen where he lives, and I pitched it to him. I let him read the script. But I'm hoping to get to meet you. I just want to say I'm a huge fan. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Part 2 struck a note with me when I was a kid. I saw the original and part 2 in a drive-in double feature when I was 11. And it opened up the door for me for all horror movies, but it's my go-to one all the time. And I thank you. I thank you for contributing to the franchise.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. Now, my question is Ron Milkey going to be up there on June 12th?
He's working on it because of his, because of the age and the fear of COVID, of course. He wants to play it by ear, and he doesn't want to commit right away. The event is outside. We're hoping for 250 guests, and we're actually going to have it in a film location not too far from Blairstown, New Jersey, and where we filmed is called the Hunter's Lodge. And ironically, when we filmed there, apparently the cast and crew actually stayed there in the original, which I had no idea.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's an outside event. So we're going to pay close attention to the rules and regulations to COVID.
Sure.
So, but it'd be fantastic if you guys can make it. I know I'm working with Stacy. She's going to communicate when she can. So, whatever happens, that's great. If not,
Now,
you'll be there.
How late do you need a commitment? Because I'm not sure that Stacy had mentioned the 15th of March that you need a commitment, or
originally that's when the tickets go on sale, but it's going to run for a month and a half. The event's actually June 12th. So
right,
if you want to wait to the week before, that's fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sure that I'll know before that. It just depends on
I don't know if you know how far Blair's. Understandable. And the other thing is too, it's close. It's close to Manhattan, so that's a good thing. It's an hour and 30 minutes away.
Yeah, Bill and I drove there.
You were up at Camp Novi Bosco, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So yeah, no, you don't have to commit. It'd just be great to have you there. We're going to do it like an old school barbecue and a pig roast. I'm sorry if you're a vegetarian, but
I am.
We'll take care. We'll have veggie burgers, and we'll have side salads.
Okay, good.
So before we, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. But before we get to the last question of the night, I'd be curious to know, Dave, Mr. Brown, stay on, because this question is going to be directed towards you. I don't know Stacy, but do I get a agent fee here for all this negotiating?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you my 10%.
Right on.
Sure, I'll send you some of our memorabilia from the film.
We'll talk. We'll talk, Dave.
I got to tell you, this was a fan-funded film that we did for Indiegogo, and if it wasn't for the fans, we couldn't have done it. They contributed it because it was a difficult film to sell because everybody was so enthralled by the hockey mask, Jason, for so long that to try to pitch the sack mask, Jason, people weren't having it. But we had a custom silicone mask that's underneath the sack mask to look exactly as Gillette's, Warrington's, So there's more to underneath the sack mask. We're not just running around with the sack mask. We do reveal. And if you check out we have a trailer that showcases a lot of it, and I think I sent it to Lauren too. Yeah, we have a couple trailers, but yeah, it's a really good story. I kind of call it adult horror. It kind of, we left out unfortunately the sex and the premarital sex and drugs.
Man.
Yeah, that's gone. So the way I describe the movie is it's the deer hunter.
I want to
Stand by Me
Milky naked.
Oh God! No offense, I don't.
But it's interesting, Dave.
Probably
I will not. Even though Ron literally lived, about 30 or 40 blocks from me, I probably won't see him until if I see him up in Blairstown. It's your premiere.
He's kind of hidden inside of his little apartment. He's fearful. I think he ran down to South Carolina for a little while to be with his brother. But he is a health freak. He likes his jogging and he likes to stay fit. And he just wants to play it safe. He's a beautiful human being. He was very complimentary about how we ran the movie, and he was honored to actually be part of it because he just loved the script. And he says this is a very adult version of Friday the 13th, which I wanted something different. I wanted more of an adult, like guys our age that grew up with it. I wanted to stick to those roots, but at the same time, love the characters, and say, oh my God, when somebody dies, you really felt it because like you and all of you guys in those films, you felt it because it was character-based films,
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, with the other ones in the franchise, personally, they were forgettable. But everyone from the original and part 2 were lovable, likable, and you were like, oh wow, I really like that guy, and now he's dead.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if Lauren. Sure, I don't know if Lauren would agree, but I think that we really benefited in part 2 from part 1, because I felt like we were a very interesting step up.
I just felt there was a lot meat and potatoes. You guys, with both films, there was a lot of meat and potatoes there.
Yeah. Well,
Appreciate it.
I hope my schedule works out. I would really like to be there.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
You bet.
So, gonna have final question of the night. Mr. CB is back. CB?
Hi, Charlie. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Randolph.
Where are you? Which
CB.
Which film? Okay, I see it now. Okay.
Hi, pleasure to meet you. Huge fan of the film, so thank you. It's a pleasure. And I'd like to ask all you guys, sorry, this is a melodramatic last question, but I didn't know it was going to be the last one. It's nothing awe-inspiring. But a long time ago, what seems like a million years ago, in the early 2000s, I had a Friday the 13th set, part 1 through 8, just regular DVDs. Out of all you guys, with the extra commentary and all the sets that have been released since I had it, probably in, 2006 or something, what would you say best shows us what it was like behind the scenes? Because I'm looking to buy a new one, and this might not be the question to ask you, but which one is the ultimate set that you guys would say shows the unique actors' perspectives, the directors, and what you think is the true interpretation of it versus, these sets have all kinds of commentaries, but what would you say, Mr. Randolph, or the rest of the group?
Well, it seems to me, that this last Blu-ray box set is really amazingly complete. Because even with us, where we got together, a lot of the cast got together and, did a commentary during the film. It didn't include, John or Amy and John Fury, and those are included also. So a lot of the stuff, even me, who was in the film, I was able to listen to, their take. It was really fun listening to John's take on the whole thing. John Fury and also everybody. It was interesting to listen to the different perspectives that I had not heard before, because certainly I had our commentary is on there, and it was. I don't know. Yeah, certainly it's one hell of a complete set. It ain't cheap, but Lauren had picked it up before, and there's a lot of information there.
Okay, thank you, because mine was just a really basic one that you could get all those DVDs from Best Buy, probably. But yeah, so I was just wondering how it's evolved since then. I haven't gotten back into the game until recently, so thank you. And these guys watch movies a lot more than I do. I was just wondering yeah.
So what do you think, Lauren? I mean, don't you think it's a pretty cool set?
No, it's definitely a great set, and we don't monetize on it at all, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah, we don't make any more money.
Yeah. So, but it's just interesting because you have your own experience in terms of filming, and not all of us are on set at the same time. So, like even just between Bill and I, his experience on set is very different than mine. Because even though some of the cast works together in certain scenes, there are a lot of scenes that are separate. So your experience with Steve and, Carl Fullerton even, and, everybody else behind the scenes may be different from my experience. So to hear that from everybody else and participating in the commentary for the box set, I was like, oh, I didn't know that happened to you. Oh, really? That guy said that to you? So yeah, that's what makes it really cool. Is to
Cool.
hear.
And may I add a follow-up question on that note?
Sure.
Do you ever
Okay
hear
with me.
something from another guy or lady and you're thinking to yourself, I don't remember that, or that's not how that went? Not to put you on the spot, but in a fun way, or I mean, maybe not so. But do you sometimes think, huh?
Oh yeah, well, let me tell you, Lauren, she stretches the truth all the time.
Yeah, I'm trying to cover your ass.
Well, anytime you want to.
Well, thank you, CB.
All right, thank you all. I appreciate your.
But I want to say thank you for Bill for joining us during the Q&A
I'm
here.
so sorry I was late. So sorry.
It happens, it's real life stuff. Lauren has been a complete trooper, but we had fans wanting to know as we close out here, social media, if you have some. I know Lauren does, obviously, but also some have asked about purchasing autographs in this COVID season. So if there's a way to do that, please let them know.
Yeah, everybody who's here knows that I'm on Instagram at Lauren Marie Taylor and the number 1 behind it. And
You're number one. You're number one.
Because
you're number one. That's right.
it was kind of funny when I was setting it up. I was with a friend of mine, Heidi, and she's like, Lauren, you should go do this on Instagram. And I was like, whatever that is, and I've come and gone on it, so we plugged in my name. She says, your name is already taken. And I went, all right, just put a number 1 behind it. And she went, okay. She put a number 1. Meanwhile, people are like, no, that means that, somebody's impersonating you. I'm like, no, they'll know it's me, whatever. So anyway, but it is Lauren Marie Taylor 1, and you can DM me about, if you want to purchase something. But, like I said earlier, sometimes I'll do a giveaway. I'm trying to find those ugly brown underwears. I'm getting close. But I think if I get close and can purchase a few, I'll do that as a giveaway. And I'm also thinking about doing a hockey puck as a giveaway, the one with the puck,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
So maybe I'll take a vote on Instagram and see what people would rather me sign, a pair of brown underwears or a hockey puck.
I have no idea. There's no way that I'm going to get a bunch of hats and give the hats away.
No, you can get that white thing that you wear, that tank top thing. The shirt.
Oh yeah. I'm going to
your
get
muscles are
1,000 white tank tops, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you should get some white
okay.
tank tops and put some sweat on it. So it smells like you've been running after your truck. I'm trying to market you, Bill. Come on.
Thank you. You need a job.
I don't know.
Well, I certainly people have. The only thing I'm on is Facebook. Just under Bill Randolph, and people have asked me about that, and I haven't quite figured out how to accomplish it. And granted, it's probably not that difficult, but it hasn't been my main focus. But so I'll have to figure something out. No, not that the fans haven't been my main focus, but selling autographs through social media has not been my focus. But I'll have to think about that.
Bill, we'll talk. I actually have a couple ideas we can help with that to make it easy.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
we'll talk.
Now, you have a more direct way to get. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's a direct way we can get it organized for you, and Lauren as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So thank you guys so much and thank you for everybody who popped on tonight.
Yeah, it's cool to see all these squares.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a couple of things that have come in, and a question that just came in. It's a little bit long, but I think Bill could probably answer this quickly too. I know we're going to sign
Oh,
up.
what? Oh, yeah, I don't even know how to do the chat.
No. I'm just doing something really quick because, you know, it is kind of late. So anybody who's sent me direct messages, you know, who's, you know, follows me, I'll answer them tomorrow. But just real quick, because I think Bill can also answer this. Did you have any idea it would all turn out so well? So
absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing that's amazing.
Yeah, that's from Rob, by the way. Hi,
Yeah.
Rob.
I mean, the thing is that the first time I saw the film, I saw it as a screening, you know, with the casting directors, Meg Simon and Fran Cumin, and my agent and a few other people and whatever. It was a very, you know, small group of people. And so, you know, it was what it was. But at one point I snuck off to, you know, just a regular theater in New Jersey and saw it in a theater in New Jersey. And it was, I was amazed, shocked, and delighted at the response. It really was cool. And fortunately, nobody recognized me. So, you know,
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
mobbed.
I did the same thing. I did the same.
Much to my disappointment, I was not mobbed after.
I did get a couple side glances, you know.
Oh, did you?
Well, yeah.
Well, don't you always get?
I know. I always get the side eye from everybody, including my pets. You know, they're always giving me the side eye. But you know, we had that screening that we all went to, and then I did the same thing as you did. I went to a movie theater to see it, and of course, I cringed when I saw myself. I was like, ah, like that, because it was so big. But then to hear the audience go, ah, or don't go in there, no, things like that. That was kind of cool to see. Yeah, but then leaving the theater, I mean, I was wearing my brown underwear and that ugly sweatshirt, so everybody knew who I was. Just kidding. But it was.
I believed you.
What, honey?
I believed you.
You would. You totally would. But yeah, it was kind of cool seeing it in a movie theater with people, you know, and them not knowing that you were there too, and then you leave and people are just kind of like, oh, no.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I didn't get any side glances.
Well, guys, thank you so much again, and everybody have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Thank you for setting this up.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
See
you.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody.
Convention soon.
Yes.
See you, Joey Moscow soon.
All right. Yep. Thank you.